Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Ogbe Edward Monoyo, and on this series, Telling Medical Stories, we help medical students make pre-med, med, post-med decisions, and also issues surrounding the medical health system around the world and how to just go about things like that. So if you're interested, then this channel is for you. But today specifically, we'll be talking about passing the medical licensing board exams in Nigeria. So the MDCN exams, like it's normally called. And fresh from the success board today is, I don't know, I'll call him Shady, but I will let him, but it's not Shady. Doctor, by the way, I have to put some respect on the name. So please, Shedrack, can you please introduce yourself, tell us your name, what you're doing now, and all the stuff. Those are really very good.
All right. Hi, everyone. I am Osuji Shedrack. Yeah, so, and yeah, like you said, I graduated from Ukraine, VN Karazina National University. I actually think that's the best university in Ukraine, but then let's not talk about it.
Okay.
I passed my MDCN exam in June, just like last month. And then presently, I'm working with the NCDC. That's Nigerian Center for Disease Control. So I'm working in their research.
Oh, great. Amazing. Anyways, I'm not going to go about that war between Karazin and KNMU. I would just leave it for anyone who may be interested in the comment section, but let's leave that out of this conversation today. But that's an untrue statement anyways. Great. All right. Welcome on board. Some interesting things. He said he's working for the NDC, right? Or did I say it very well? Yes. So CDC. Just an N before it, yes. Right? So Center for Disease Control, Nigeria Center for Disease Control. So there'll be another video about that. So if you're interested, you can just click the link after now to see how he was able to get a placement there if it's something you're interested in. All right, so let's go straight to the MDCN exam. So the first question I would love to ask is, can you give us a brief overview of the exam? What is this exam all about?
Okay, so the MDCN exam, it's basically an assessment exam that is given to foreign trained graduates, medical doctors, and dentists. So it's just to assess that you are ready for practice in Nigeria, basically. So this is the exam you do before your house job, or what they call medical internship. And yeah, that's basically it, really. It's an assessment exam.
All right, great. So what will you say is the exam? Will you say the exam is difficult or easy, or will you say it's normal compared to other exams in the world? Be very truthful.
You know this thing where after people have finished writing the exam, they now say, "Oh,
yes, yeah, it's not 10, it's not 10, it's not 10."
So I'm trying not to be that person. Personally, I think it's an easy exam. Actually, I'm trying not to be that person, but it's an easy exam. It's an exam that really, if you prepare, you can pass. Compared to other exams I've written, I think MDCN exam was easier.
It's easier, right? So let's put it that you're saying that there is no need to be afraid to take the exams. As long as you're prepared and ready, it's absolutely easy to pass the exams, right?
Yes.
So leading before you took the exams about a month ago, did you have any fears or worries about taking the exam?
Yes. Yes, I had. Part of me was like, because I didn't even know what to expect, because I've never written a Nigerian exam before, first of all. So and the whole thing was just new to me. I'd come and then was like, okay, let me try the exam. And then I went the first day to try to see what they are teaching. And then the next thing is that I'm lost, because they're talking about clerking. There's a format for you to clerk. There's a format for you to counsel. We're talking about level of preventions. All those things were new to me. Okay, of course, in Ukraine, they've taught us about history taking, that's clerking, but not in that sequence. So there are certain things you have to say, there are certain things you have to do. So it was overwhelming at first, actually. But, and because of how overwhelming it was, I started being afraid. So I was afraid, actually. I was afraid. I was like, me and my friend, every time we meet, and we talk about MDCN, we always finish the statement with God abego.
God abego. You know that statement. Maybe I'll put it across the screen where they say this point of my life is God. I beg. I take God beg you. Great. But it's amazing. It's amazing that at the end of the tunnel you can look back and say it was really easy if you prepared. So how long does it take to prepare for the exam? Let's start from there. How long do you think is sufficient enough to prepare for the exam? If someone has legit fears of not being ready, do you advise, because you took the exam immediately after graduation, right? No, I don't think so. Did you?
No, I took it in, like, okay, I graduated in July 2020, and then I took it in June 2021.
So were you preparing all this while, or you were just chilling?
Nigeria was not in the plan. I wasn't going to go to Nigeria, but COVID happened, and then I finally went to Nigeria in February. So
all right,
yeah. So even when I was going home, I didn't really think I was going to write the exam. It was until March I decided, okay, I'm going to write this exam.
Oh, all right. So just to ship it in, before you continue, I'm sorry. You had another plan because you got admitted in Canada to have do a research program, right? So I just want to put that there because that will be another video. Also, if you're interested in one having to do research programs or just admissions around Canada, then click on the link. Okay, guys. So let's come back to, so you started preparing. How many months to the exam did you start preparing for the exam actively?
Actively, a month, actually. But I was attending a tutorial, but it was passively, like some days I go, some days I don't go. But then 1 month to the exam, I became like serious and started practicing like every day, started going to the tutorials and all of that.
All right. I'm smiling because I want to ask you a question and I know that you will not answer me. You will not answer. I'm hoping you answer me directly, but I know that you will try to dodge and not answer me very well. Now, coming from you, I know you're a very smart student. You're not a regular student. Don't tell me no, don't do that. Don't even look at me like that. Don't do that. But just in case you want to say, oh, I'm a regular student, but guys, don't believe him. But let's say you choose to believe Shedrack. Do you think 1 month is actually enough for an average student to prepare for the MDCN exam? And why will it be adequate?
Okay, I think for an average student, really, give or take 2-3 months is enough to prepare for the exam, really. I know of someone who, when we arrived in Ibadan, he didn't know how to click, he didn't know how to cancel, he didn't know like this was a sequence. So he met me, and then we discussed for 2 days, 2 nights actually, and he passed the exam.
Well, those are exceptional people. Or you think do you think it's that basic? Because I really want the content to be accessible by every person. Like you said, we shouldn't be that person at the end of the day. Just say, relax, chill, 2 days at a time, look for a Shedrack to teach you, how to click. That boy must have known the basics. That's where I want to go. Like, let's say, really.
Okay, he was just rotating in the hospital, but then the MDCN style of clicking, the MDCN style of counseling and all of that, he didn't know. So he didn't even know like the levels of prevention and all those things. So when we met, we just discussed, and before you know, when he was able to click, he was able to cancel. I think this thing, if you're able to just know the structure, like how to say the things, and you can use your basic knowledge to attach it, and you'll be fine, really.
We're fine. All right, great. So what are the best ways that you think a person can prepare using yourself? So I have 3 months, which we said of course should be like the minimum to prepare. What do I do to make sure that I put my best foot forward?
Okay, so first of all, I really think joining the tutorials is very important, actually, because these tutorials, like form the foundation, because these people know like MDCN style of questions and all of that. So joining the tutorials is very important, because they will now tell you, okay, this is how you should do it, this is how you should do it, and then now with your own knowledge, you now begin to practice at home. So the first thing I think anybody who wants to do an MDCN exam is to do is join a tutorial. Really, I personally did Ace Medis. Okay, this is advertisement, but I did Ace Medis.
Yeah, Ace Medis in Abuja, right? Okay.
Yeah, okay. Ace Medis has the center in Abuja, Port Harcourt, Kano, and online too.
All right, they should see me for the free advert. Great.
So, so I did with them, and they were able to tell me like, okay, this is a sequence on how to click and all those things. So with those things, the rest things I did was really just apply my basic knowledge to it. So joining the tutorials is very important, because some tutorials even do like mock for you, and those mock will build your confidence. Because I can remember my first and only mock actually, because I told you I was on serious. So the last mock I joined, when I joined the mock, when it was the OSCE time, in my first station I froze because I was scared. It was mock, but I was scared and I froze, and I just stood there. The person was trying to encourage me, say something. But I knew the thing, but I just couldn't say. So now that made me prepare adequately that, okay, this can happen in the real exam. So if I wasn't in a tutorial, I wouldn't have experienced a mock like that, and then know that, okay, I can freeze and then try to arrange myself during that, like the real day. So the first thing is tutorials. Second thing I think the person needs to do is join, like, meet someone you can practice with, really. So because I had a friend, every evening she would tell me, let's clerk Shedrack, let's cancel, let's do level of prevention. And as we kept on practicing, before you know, sincerely speaking, I'll be sleeping and then I'll be dreaming that I'm clerking a case in the queue.
Yeah.
and then I wake up to finish clerking and then go back to sleep. So, but it was because I was practicing a lot with the person. That's why it was like that.
Oh, great.
So get to study mates, and then tutorials. Those things are really important, actually.
All right. I think we skipped something about the initial registration. So how does someone register for the exam? If you remember the process, just give us a random stuff. Let's say for someone who is still abroad and they're just clicking on this video and they want to do any tips, any advice, going to the offices, all of those stuffs. Yeah. What will you advise?
Yeah, so I think the first thing the person needs to do is that the person needs, when the person is coming back, the person must have done the stamping behind your
diploma or certificate,
especially the Nigerian embassy, because you have to have done the Nigerian embassy stamp. And then the next thing you need to do is the what's it called? You need to get some letters from your school, the letter of eligibility and the letter of good standing. So those letters are very important, because they will ask you in the MDCN office. If you don't have the letters, you can't write the exam.
Okay.
And then the next thing you need to do is the EPIC registration. So we know that the EPIC registration is like of two parts. We have the one where you just like register, and the other one where you verify your diploma. So to write the exam, all you need to do is just registration for EPIC. It costs about $130. And then after you pass the exam, before induction, you need to now do the verification of diploma. But you can do all of them at the same time if you want. But me, I just did that separate. So after that, going to the office, you need to go to the office to submit the documents yourself. It doesn't have to be yourself, because I know someone submitted for another person. So you don't have to be there physically, but all your documents have to be there. So documents include, like I said, the EPIC registration, like an evidence of the EPIC registration, the letters of good standing, your diploma. There is a form you need to download from the MDCN page and then website. So you need to download the form and then fill it at home. Yeah. And then also you need to pay for the MDCN exam using the remitter. So everything you have to pay is it's about 130,000 naira. Yeah, and then your WAEC or your NECO certificate, not the so it has to like the original certificate. Because I had that problem actually, and then they told me I have to go and bring my certificate. Yeah, but you need your original certificate to, like a photocopy of the original certificate, but not the one you just checked online from your school. You need to collect it.
Okay.
So, so and in that you have to have 5 credits, including maths and English actually. So maths, English, physics, chemistry, biology, you need to have had credits in those subjects. Yeah, and then evidence of payment. Yes, you need to have that too, that you've paid for the exam. I think that's all you need actually. That's all the documents you would submit. So you go to the MDCN office, submit it with passport. Yes, passport photograph. It doesn't waste time. By the time you are there, in 5 minutes, you'll be able to be done if you have all your documents ready.
Ready. All right, great. So tell us about the day of the exam.
Okay, so the first day of the exam, it was MCQ, computer-based test. Sincerely speaking, I knew I didn't have a problem with computer-based tests because people before me had told me that, that the computer-based test is your basic medical knowledge. So you don't have to worry, really, just go in and just, the things you will see, it will be shocked. It will be shocking for you because it's going to be way easy. So I had that mentality for the computer-based test, really. So I wasn't really scared on the first day because it was computer-based test. So I sat down, and then when I opened it, truly, it was, of course, it was not like easy, but it was not like difficult too. So it was something that you could see and answer if you're an average medical student, really. So there were a lot of questions I answered. Usually for this computer-based test, we have like 250 questions that are multiple choice, and then we have 50 questions that are picture test. So they show you a picture, and then they ask you a question according to the picture they showed you. So although during that day they had some technical issues, so I was okay doing my listening until when I was doing my picture test, I now discovered that some of my picture tests were not loading. Like 5 was not loading. So that like destabilized me. I called for help. They said I should just hold on. And then while I was holding on, another neighbor called for help because he had the same issue, picture test. So I was watching what they were doing to him. So the man now pressed, I think F5 or something, what he pressed on the laptop, on the computer. And then the guy's system went off and started loading. And 20 minutes later, it was still loading.
Wow.
The man now came to me.
It's shady being shady.
The man now came to me and said, okay, let him rectify my problem. And he was coming to press F5.
F5.
I said, sir. I said, don't worry. So I told him, don't worry. And because it was like maybe out of the 50 questions, there were like 7 pictures that were not loading. So I just chose anything. I'm like, instead of me to now wait for how many minutes?
20 minutes,
let's just start. And after that 20 minutes, when the person's questions came back, you have to start from beginning.
Wow.
So every answer here wiped out.
From the MCQ.
So everything was out. So
wow.
I didn't want to be that boy. So I said no. So that was what happened actually. But aside from that technical hitch, the exam was really, that first day was really good. There was no problem. Even when I went to I told my elder brother, that the exam was okay, really, that the questions were not so difficult. So that was about the first day. The second day, that's the part of the exam I was scared of, really, because I'm like, OSCE. But a few days before that day, I'd already started getting confidence that, okay, what's the worst that can happen, really? What's the worst that can happen? And it will pain me if I go inside that hall and I don't give my best. And because I didn't give my best, I failed. That would be very annoying for me, actually. So I'm like, I'm going to get my confidence. I'm going to just write this, do this part, and then whatever happens, I know that I did my best. So we waited outside for like an hour before we started. So by then already we're just discussing things and all of that. So we entered, it's 10 stations for that part of the exam. It's the OSCE, so it's 10 stations. So the first station I entered was about laboratory diagnosis. So I just saw it, and then it wasn't so difficult. Sure, it wasn't so difficult, and the examiners were encouraging because there's a saying that the MDCN assessment exam, when you're entering into the exam, you've already passed until you give them a reason not to pass.
Oh, yeah.
So, so going into the exam, I had that listing. So when I went to the first place, the woman was now like, "Oh, relax. You don't have to be agitated or anything. Just relax. You got this." She was encouraging me. So the first station was a written station. It was okay. Second station I had was history taking. The patient was somehow because the patient was trying to misdirect me, but again, the examiner was very helpful. The examiner was like, I should ask this woman very well, what is her chief complaint? So I think these people are not there to fail you. That's what I just got to recognize. These people are not there to fail you. They want you to even pass through. So they're trying to help you as much as possible. So, the things we've heard about MDCN exam, that's not what I saw actually. So, and then other stations too. Like if you are doing well, like in my carousel, if you're doing well, you could see that the examiner will be there saying yes, yes. Like even be like one of my examiner was giving me thumbs up when I was talking about level of prevention. So so you could see that they were trying to make you as comfortable as possible and for you to be able to like the exam. So when I finished that day, I came out, I'm like, oh, if this is the MDCN exam, then really there's no need for anybody to really be afraid. It's something that can be passed. You just need to calm down and study. And it's a focused exam. So if you study what your tutor is telling you to study, you're sure that you're going to.
Okay. People that don't pass the exams, you've made it look very easy. Like, well, like, yeah, let's go and write the exam. So why do you think people don't pass the exams?
Okay. So first of all, I think because one of the doctors said what they're looking for. I think I'm not going to call the person's name, but it's a very high ranking MDCN official. He said something that said one thing they're looking for is confidence. They want to see that as a doctor, you are confident enough to handle any situation. So one thing they're looking for in the exam is that you are confident of. So when you enter the exam, they're looking at you're looking at, okay, you're confident and all of that. So, and then the people who don't pass the exam, sometimes really, I think sometimes maybe it could be, of course, it's human. So it could be that maybe the examiner didn't like the person. So that could have happened. It could have, also the person could have been afraid, like I said, could have been scared and then maybe froze on the on the spot or something. But which other reason can I think of really? And sometimes the Nigerian factor happen. I'm sorry, but then I feel like sometimes the Nigerian factor happen because I know some people who are very confident, they are very smart.
So what's exactly the Nigerian factor?
Maybe they just omit your name and put you another person's name. But then this is just speculation. I don't know whether it's true or not, but then people say that it could happen. So I don't know.
Great. Okay. Is there any way I should carry myself character-wise? Because we are Africans, dressing, most people are just coming from Europe where some things are allowed and just normal. So if I'm going to the exam, should I adjust my character, my dressing, how I present myself? Is it really very important?
Very, 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 very important. Because I knew about that, so I tried to look for a tie that was like very big so that even when I was coming in, they were like, oh, are you part of the examiner or you are a student? So or you are like try the exam. I said, I'm a doctor trying to write the exam. But because I knew that clothes like your dressing matter. So they want you to dress corporate, yeah. So of course, not the kind of corporates out of vogue. Out of vogue, my God. That's not what they're looking for.
Yeah.
So they're not looking for you to come all stylish and all of that, because that could be a problem. They need you to have clean shape. So try to cut your beards. Try to maybe lower your hair if you can. Try to dress as Nigerian couple. You know all those professors kind of.
We get what you're saying.
So yeah, so if you can, try not to like your lab coat should not be so stylish, because people can just look at anything and then say, okay, this is why I come to do fashion inside. Yeah. You're trying to do fashion inside the or you're trying to do fashion inside the hospital. So cut beards, if try to wear your socks, all those kind of things, just because those things could, because these are people marking your distance, so those things could make the people mark you down and all those things. So yeah, dressing matters a lot actually.
Do I have to be extra respectful? Good afternoon, ma. Good afternoon, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, you have to be extremely respectful. When you go into a station, try not to even sit down without them inviting you to sit down. So stand and then wait for them to say, okay, you can sit down, then you sit down. And then whatever you are doing, do it with so much respect. Like me, when I was trying to examine my patients, when I was inspecting my patients, my examiner was staying at the place where I was also inspecting my patients. I told the examiner that, sir, please, I would like to examine, I'd like to inspect my patient from the foot of the bed. Please, can you shift, sir? With so much humility and all of that, because, you know, so
it's our culture. It's our culture. It's normal. It's normal everywhere. It's not just exam. Yeah.
And then I think another thing you need to know is that majority of the exam is acting too, actually. Acting. So you have, even if you don't know what you're doing, you have to act like you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you are inspecting a patient, try to bend down very well to make sure you are. The bed is eye level to your like eye level, so you're bending down. You go down. As you're doing, you're nodding your head like you know what you're saying. Try if you're checking, be checking your wristwatch too. All those things like showmanship.
Yeah.
So so it's a lot of this part too is acting. So you have to like act the part too.
Oh, great. All right. I think we covered most of the things, if not in details. So if we say 5 things, let's like 5 things that you need to do when preparing for MDCN to pass. Number 1.
Number 1, join the tutorials.
Number 2.
Find somebody to practice with as often as possible.
Number 3.
Number 3. Number 3, I think these 5 things a lot. But number
I can help confidence.
Number 3, I think gather all your documents, like you have all your documents ready, and try not to go the last day, because if you don't have all your documents and you go on the last day, it's over for you. You come back and write in the next 6 months or whenever they write next. So yeah, that. And then maybe the next thing is that try to go to the center you are going to write the exam a day before, at least. Like, of course, you should be in the city like few days, like maybe 5-6 days or 4 days before time. But at least go and see where the center is located or where the hospital is located at least 1 day before. Because we had situations where some people went to another place and the exam was holding in another place. So when they had even come, we had already started the exam. So they started the exam dates. So that's very important too. Yeah, and then also the last one will be imbibe the Nigerian culture. So you are respectful when you're doing the exam, passionate, showmanship, and all those things. So I think I said 5. Yeah, so that's the 5.
Yeah, 5. Whoa, that's very good. All right. The final thing I would love to ask you for this particular video is that okay, I'm in my first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth or sixth year, and I want to know what can I be doing in these years to make sure that not just MDC and every other exam I want to take medically, I'll be able to ace them and pass. So you're talking to someone who is not going to take the exam immediately. They still have some time to prepare for the exam. What should they be doing in medical school that will make, what did you wish you did that could have made your MDCN journey easier? Yeah, I think this is much more better.
Okay, I think top of my head, two things really. The first thing is that study, because I think most people are not studying really, but study, because like I said, the computer-based test was very easy. It's something that you know if you are an average medical student, really. So study. Number two, try to get your practical skills really, because that was the main reason why I was scared for OSCE, because my practical skills has not really been like, I can count how many times I've seen patients and all of that. So it was, so if you have any opportunity to see patients, because I know some people, when they say it's time to see patients in Ukraine,
they'll go home.
In fact,
they go home. Yes. Say it. You're not happy. Say it. You're not happy yourself. Tell them.
Exactly. So you're not helping yourself. I wasn't going home, but I still have little experience, practical skills. But then just imagine people will be going home then. So very important to do practical skills. Even ask your teacher that, okay, please, I want to see patients. Can I see patients? You don't have to wait for them to say, okay, let's see patients. You say, I want to see patients, and then try to do that. So other things that, should I say other things that does not relate to MDCN, for example?
Yeah, you can.
Really improve your CV. Maybe in the next video we'll talk about
it. Yeah. Improve your CV. Stop just going to school, passing modules and coming back. The other things you can add, right?
Exactly. It's very important really to improve your CV.
All right. So let's just keep it here so that they can move on to watch the next video, where we'll be talking about how you got your research fellowship in Canada. And also right now you finished your MDCN exam, you passed it, and now you're working in the NCDC, right? So that's nice. We'd love to know, and we'd like to see how all these things go. So thank you, Shedrack, for joining us today, talking about the MDCN. I hope this was helpful. Is helpful to someone who is about to take the exam or preparing to take the exam in the future. So guys, for more of this content, what are you waiting for? Stop watching this video for free. Just subscribe just down below. Hit the notification bell so that you get notified when I post videos like this. So thank you so much, Dr. Osuji, for joining us, and we'll pray more big wins. We'll be here to follow your medical story and tell each part of it. He also has a YouTube channel. I'm going to put the link down below, guys. Let's go and flood that channel and get Shedrack to give us some real life content. So thank you, Shedrack. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, bye-bye.
Bye.